Hey there, and welcome to Inside Butler Football. I'm your host, Bree Seaver. The Butler football team came from behind in the final 2 seconds of Saturday's game to clinch a 19-16 victory over Jacksonville, as well as part of the league title. In a second, we'll be joined by Butler head football coach Jeff Forrest to talk about last week's game and take a look at the games ahead. Stay with us on Inside Butler Football. We welcome you back to Inside Butler Football. I'm joined today by head Butler football coach Jeff Forrest. Coach, thanks for coming in again.
Good to be back.
So Butler came away with a historic win on Saturday, beating Jacksonville for the first time ever. So not only did they do that, but paired with Drake's first loss to Dayton, they're guaranteed no worse than a tie for the league title. You know, Butler won the last PFL championship back in 2009 when this year's senior class was freshmen. So, you know, how much does it mean for you, the team, and especially the seniors to have at least a piece of the PFL championship?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's so hard to win college football games. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and so many people have to be on the same page. That's the thing that you're proud of, the way that they work together, and you know, the preparation they put in, and all those things this week, especially. You know, when you're talking about one-game seasons and having to, you know, your season last week was Jacksonville, and as good as they've been and are, to battle them for 60 minutes and come away is critical. And you know, the seniors' last day in the bowl, I think, adds to that. There's no question to play college football and to commit to it for 4 years, especially at this level. You tip your hat to those guys. They're special guys, and the last time out of the tunnel to go back up with a victory means a lot.
Now, Butler went into halftime trailing Jacksonville. Now, granted, the weather was absolutely awful on Saturday, but you know, they weren't really executing the running game, and they weren't even completing some passes with the receivers that they normally would. So what was your game plan for the second half if you guys were going to come back and win?
Well, I mean, I don't think it changed much. I think at halftime we were pretty much where we thought we would be, kind of the type of game we thought it could be. You know, defensively, we kept it close, kept the ball in front of us, kept making them line up and make another play, and I thought we did a great job of that. Offense was competing, and every drive was ending in a kick, and we get a turnover on a punt that, you know, flipped the field and created some momentum, and we're able to take advantage of that with a score. And you know, it's 25 minutes into the game before we get on the board, but that's kind of been who we are, just a team that continues to battle and believes that if you keep playing the play, the good things are eventually going to happen for you. So at halftime, we didn't feel like there was dramatic changes to be made. I mean, we knew what we had, we knew who we were playing, and you know, it was going to be another 30-minute battle that was probably going to come down to the end, and it did. And I'm just proud of the guys, the way they kept playing. Absolutely.
Now, this week's PFL co-offensive player and Butler quarterback Matt Lancaster made the final touchdown of the game. He stretched over into the end zone the final couple seconds. Now, fortunately, they played really good complementary football. The defense was able to stop Jacksonville so that the offense could get the opportunity to have another drive. So can you just talk about the final couple minutes of the game and what plays really helped make that touchdown possible?
Well, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. The whole thing was possible by the defense getting one more stop. And after 60 minutes of lining up and playing as well as we did on defense, to need one more stop, I mean, it shows, you know, just what we have and who we are on defense. Without getting the ball back, there is no drive. And, you know, a drive is, you know, one play at a time, and all of them have to work together, you know, not just the 11, but the play. So there's not one play that really makes that drive. There's just, you know, we've been there before. We've been in those situations before, which definitely helped. And you know, I think all 11 guys did a great job. I mean, you got a great defensive front. You're playing. You got to throw the ball. The line protected and did the things we needed to do. You know, Matt made good decisions, distributed the ball. People were in the right place at the right time. So, you know, it was that offensive unit did a great job, and they did kind of what we've come to expect them to do, and that's just to keep competing, and you know, we're able to get it in on the last play.
Yeah, Butler's had a couple wins come from the fourth quarter. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some highlights from the game. This first one is David Berg. This is a forced fumble on this punt that allowed Butler to have the short field and get in position for their first touchdown. Yeah,
we've been really good in our punt coverage all year. There's some dangerous receivers in this league, and we've done a great job of running the field and you know, squeezing the ball here. And David does a nice job of not only securing the tackle, but getting the rip, and you know, Jimmy Schwabe's down there to fall on it. So that was the play that created the momentum that we needed, the flip of the field to help the offense.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the next one is, this is the touchdown resulting from the fumble. It's a touchdown pass to Dylan Johnson.
And this was a good play by Matt. The play call wasn't perfect. They defended it well. You know, Matt had to make a guy, you know, miss on the edge and extend it. It turns into a little bit of a scramble drill. And the nice thing is guys got to open spaces, and Matt kept the play alive and was able to complete the pass to Dylan.
This next one is a sack by Glenn Summers in the fourth quarter, right before Butler's final drive.
And that's kind of how we've been playing. Our defensive front has been outstanding, controlling the line of scrimmage and, you know, just battling. Glenn gets this sack with pure effort and, you know, just continuing to play. And, you know, Kyle Annis has done a good job in there, and, you know, everyone knows about Jeremy Stevens, Jace Tennant. So they've done a great job up front, and that's just an example of how hard they've played.
And this last one is Matt Lancaster's touchdown in the final couple seconds of the game. I mean, really everything leads up to this point. How important was this for you guys?
I mean, it's win or lose on one play. I mean, you don't ever want it to come down to that, but we felt like we had the right call and the right opportunity, and I think we had the commitment to get it in. 11 guys doing their job, and it worked out.
All right. Our reporter Matt Schumacher takes us behind the scenes to follow a day in the life of a Butler football player. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Jordan Massey, linebacker for Butler Bulldogs. I'm a sophomore. We're outside of Resco, it's where I live. It's about 5:45 in the morning, about to head over to Hinkle to have my position meeting with Coach Cooper. My position meeting is so early because I have class all day long, and there's a certain class that interferes with meeting times, and we want to make sure we get to all our classes, so I have to compromise a little bit and go to early morning meetings, which go over practice the day before, watch film from practice the day before, and talk about some new install stuff, some new formations we may put in, and you know, where we need to line up and all that. So, all right, we're in front of the football office right now. About to go and head in my meeting right at 6 o'clock. Not a lot of people can go into this meeting room besides football players or staff, so that's where I got to cut you guys off, and I'll meet up with you guys after for the lift. Just had a good position meeting, watch the film, and learn some stuff for the day. Hopefully get better today in practice. It's time to get the lift on.
One, it gives us a chance to get up, get breakfast in us. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We get guys up early, we're guaranteed that we got our breakfast in. Also, it gives us time to get a good workout in, time to rest, get a 4-hour window minimum before they work out and are out on the practice field. That way, if they have a leg work in, their legs should be recovered, ready to go for practice.
It's good to get up, get a sweat going, you know, work out some of those sore muscles in practice and stuff, get a good stretch at the end, and it's always good to get going in the morning. This, take a shower and change, and then get some breakfast. Alright, we're back at Resco. Got Breakfast Club right now. Breakfast Club's for the guys who have a meal plan, make sure they're getting good calories in their body, keep maintaining the weight and gaining weight. If you don't come to Breakfast Club, you get a half a tap point, and a tap point is we have a team accountability point system, and basically you have to work that off. So like I missed a Breakfast Club and had to wipe down all the stuff in the weight room for Coach Peel at about 6 in the morning, so that wasn't too fun. I got some good calories in me, ready to start the day. First class coming up.
What do you got coming up?
I got anatomy right now. I got a big midterm, so I stayed up pretty late studying last night. So hopefully, I get a decent grade on it. Right now I'm in the training room, getting a little treatment on the knee. Not real sure what I did to it. I think it's just some cartilage or something, but just trying to stay healthy. The training room is a place you don't want to be, but sometimes it's necessary to keep playing and keep performing. Then at 11 I got motor learning, which I got another test in. And got to get a quick lunch today. Then I got a 12:30 to 3:30 class over at Short Ridge. Do some work with some kids, and then head to practice and round that off for the end of the day.
So you got a pretty full plate today.
Yep, Wednesday is definitely my heavy day. Start early and late, but just got to get it done.
Hey, man!
Hey, bro! Just got done with practice. Defense had some high energy today, did some good things. Trying to get geared up for this conference championship this weekend against Drake. Definitely the opportunity to play on Saturday. We're trying to get a ring, so we stay hungry all the time, and we always got to work together. And one of our sayings we have is grind together, shine together. So, we take that every day of our lives, whether it be school or weightlifting or practice or whatever, just to get through the day and know that we're working towards one goal. It's been a long day. Thanks for hanging out with me for the day, showing you the life of a Butler football player. About to go grab some food, hit the books, and probably just go to bed. Go Dogs.
We welcome you back to the Get to Know Your Bulldogs segment of the show. This week we're getting to know junior cornerback Kevin Cook. Kevin, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So where are you from?
I'm actually from Fishers, Indiana, which is only 30 minutes from here, which is pretty nice because my family's been able to keep in touch, go to the games, which has been a blessing this past couple of years at Butler University.
Now, what high school did you go to?
I went to Hamilton Southeastern. It's a relatively large school, so it was kind of a unique transition from a school that's almost as big as this, but it's helped because it helped me transfer to come over here. It was pretty well.
Now, when did you first start playing football?
Like a lot of guys, I started playing back when I was like 7 or 8, flag football, along with numerous other sports, and never looked back. Always loved that football as my number one. So.
Now, coming out of high school, where were you really looking to go to college? Who was actively recruiting you?
I was fortunate to have a pretty good high school season. played a little bit a lot as a sophomore and got recruited early. So I was looking at Purdue, big schools at first, Miami of Ohio, Penn University, and then I narrowed it down to obviously Butler, Penn, and then unfortunately Dayton, who I feel like that we've beat them the past 2 years. So it's been those schools who recruited me during the time. Now,
of all those schools that you mentioned, some of them are like really big football programs. What made Butler stand out from some of those other schools?
Yeah, well, when it came down to my senior year, you know, I had to be realistic in where I thought I could play like at the best of my abilities. In Purdue, I kind of had an offsetting of that, you know, it was too big of a school. The program I wasn't too interested in, that it didn't show so much interest. But when I came to Butler, you know, it was a great experience to actually be able to meet the players and be one-on-one interactions with them. And just a more realistic school that I thought I could do well at and have a good education as well.
Now, so you said when you came you liked the interactions. Is that kind of what made you want to come to Butler? Like what about seeing the team made you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one thing I had a visit and we had a player panel, which is really unique because most of the visits, you know, they have this strict guidelines that you go through, not many interactions. But when they had all the coaches and parents leave, and we were actually able to interact with the players, get to know them, which was really cool and helped me. It was one of the greater influences for me to come to Butler. So I enjoyed that.
You just asked them questions? Is that kind of how it worked?
Yeah, there was like I think like 5 of them or 6 of them, and there was us recruits and just in a room, and then they told us about their experience, asked us questions. Pretty laid back and really cool to actually get to know college players when I was in high school and stuff like that.
Great. Now, I thought it was interesting because you're one of the few who's not a redshirt as opposed to the rest of your class. Yeah. So how valuable was it for you to at least get some playing experience as a true college freshman?
It was awesome. I was really pumped when I got the call to get up there. I played like 3 games though, and I tore my PCL at Valpo. But you know, it was a great experience. Time to get my feet wet. And I think it helped me step forward to my sophomore year to not be like intimidated and be able to play at my best ability at sophomore year as well. So it did help in that.
How long was the recovery process for your injury?
It wasn't too bad. I just did 6 months, I believe. I did it on Halloween, so it was, after the Valpo game. So it was about 6 months recovery, and then I came back pretty stronger than I was before, which was surprising.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Now, to date, so far, what has been your most memorable moment as being part of the Butler football program? Yeah,
you know, every year has been pretty different. You know, going from a program in high school where we won every game to my first 2 years here, we had a below 500 season. But I would say this season has been great just because we've had the most chemistry that we've ever had on the team. You know, talent-wise, I believe we've been the same all 3 years. But this past year, we've decided that, we're going to work together as a team at the best of our abilities, and you can extremely see it in this season. So that's by far been my favorite experience so far.
Now, to this point, how would you best describe and sum up the 3 years you've had so far as part of the football team?
Let's see. I would say it's been kind of like a roller coaster. Freshman year, it was a tough transition. Being a freshman, not knowing what to expect, wanting to play more. To sophomore year, I get to play a lot. Enjoyed it, but we didn't do as well this season. And then now, we're at the top of the roller coaster, going undefeated in conference. And so it's just been progressively getting better and better, and hope to continue that next year as well.
Now, what are you going to miss the most about this year's graduating senior class?
Oh, there's a lot of great guys I've got to know over the years. I've got to know Jace Tennant pretty well, and a lot of other players, and they're the ones that led us to this season. Just to have the mindset to play together. I'll be a senior next year, so I've learned a lot from them, and I hope I can be just like them when I'm a senior.
Now, looking forward to your senior year, what kind of goals have you set for yourself? Are you hoping to assume some type of leadership position on the team? Yeah,
absolutely. This offseason is a critical point. We're not going to just accept we won a championship and not do as well next year, because in 2009 when we won it, the next year we went below 500, which was not very good. So I'm going to strive to obviously win the PFL and hopefully get a leadership role on the defense and motivate others as I can.
All right, and you guys are getting ready to travel quite a ways to Iowa this week to play Drake. So, what's one of your favorite things about away games? Because I'm sure you guys have a lot of downtime together.
Yeah, it's been real fun. I enjoy the away games. It's a lot of layovers, for 2 hours, long bus rides, all of that. But it's a time where we can actually be serious at some points, but at the other points we can, in the airport, have fun with our friends and just talk and get to know each other even more on a personal level. So it's been really rewarding and fun doing all that on the traveling, which I've enjoyed a lot.
All right. Well, good luck to you in your final game.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, after this, we're going to take a look at next week's game against Drake. Stay with us on Inside Butler Football. Back here on Inside Butler Football. So Drake is coming off their first conference loss of the season to Dayton this past week. So not only would winning this game allow Butler to go undefeated in the conference, but they would also be able to win the championship outright. So no doubt Drake is definitely a good team. What is going to be the competitive edge you're going to need on Saturday?
Well, I mean, we got to prepare. There's no question. We got to go back and do the things that we've done all year to get ready to play, and that's the most important thing. Is you know, it's nameless, faceless opponent, and treat everyone the same. That's kind of how we've done it. We get it this week that Drake's as good as there is in our league, and we're going to have to be at our best. And the only way we're at our best is if we do the things right during the week, and we take care of our body and mentally get ready to go, and do the little things, you know, all the detail things that we've been doing. So to change our focus or our motivation or anything at this point, it's an opportunity to play college football. These guys are guaranteed 11 of them a year. You know, that's why they do all the work in the off season and all the work during the week to get ready to play a game. And that's been our focus, and that's why we are where we are at this point is because of that approach to it. So to us, it's another opportunity to play college football. We understand we better be ready to go because we're playing as good as opponent as there is on our schedule. So that's the focus right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, looking at the PFL standings, Drake is second in total defense, 1 in pass defense, and 1 in interception. So they obviously have a good defense. And Butler's quarterback has done a good job of not throwing interceptions this year. He's only thrown about 3, which is pretty good. And in a lot of these games where you have the skill levels are so close, turnovers are really a deciding point. So what is Butler going to have to do to make sure they don't turn the ball over in a critical game like this? Well,
I mean, every week you work on ball security and decision making, but the biggest thing is your preparation, your study, and you know how well the looks you get in practice and the tempo of practice can it be game-like to get you in situations. So on Saturday, when you are in a live game situation, it's not new or different. And then you know you rely on the things that have gotten you to this point. And we've made good decisions with the ball. We've secured the ball. We've done those things. So that's the focus for us is preparing the best plan and getting ourselves ready to go at this point.
Now, Drake is returning their quarterback, who also was named the PFL Offensive Player of the Year last season. So how is his experience going to challenge Butler?
I mean, it's no different than us. I mean, you have a quarterback that is prepared and capable and making good decisions. It makes it really tough. I mean, and that's what they have. So it's gonna challenge the defense, but you know we got to do what we've been doing, and if we control the line of scrimmage and limit the running game and make them one-dimensional, it's a little bit harder to play quarterback. If you can rush the passer and make quicker decisions than he wants to, it's tougher to play quarterback. So I think it goes back to doing the little things again in preparation to get yourself ready to go. It's not just the quarterback. They're really good across the board. All 11 guys on the field at any point is going to have a matchup that they have to be ready for and challenging. And you throw on top of it that they have a quality veteran returning quarterback, it makes it harder.
Yeah, definitely. Now, going into this game knowing that you already have a piece of the PFL championship, how do you keep your guys from growing complacent with their play and still keeping motivated?
Well, I think we're where we're at right now because of a routine and because of the leadership that we have. They understand that we're still on this journey, and it's an opportunity to play another college football game, and that's what gets them going. You know, we talked when we started the PFL that hey, we're going to go on a 2-month journey here, and you know, Thanksgiving we'll look up and see how it all worked out. If you're worried about results, you're never going to get where you're going. We talk constantly about the scoreboard is going to take care of itself. The league standings are going to take care of themselves. This is an opportunity to play football, and how you're successful is you make big things small. You know, so you got to take your week and break it into days. You got to take your practice and break it into drills. You got to take your game and break it into drives. You got to take your drives and break it into plays. I mean, you got to be focused and detail oriented on the play at hand and the job at hand, and that's how we've gotten here, and there hasn't been any change this week.
Yep, just take it one step at a time.
No question.
All right, well, we thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it.
Good luck in your final game.
Thank you very much. It's been fun.
That will do it for this week's episode. Be sure to tune in next week for our final episode of Inside Butler Football that will broadcast from a surprise location. Thanks for watching.